Imagine a 35-year-old male dressing up like a baby, not to play a game, but to steal a diamond. This is the character of Calvin Sims, a small man at 1 meter tall, outsmarting cops, thieves, and naive parents with a scheme so absurd that it works. From the walls of a prison to a family's living room, Calvin's cunning, chaos, and comedy are all entertainment. Today, we are going to explore this outrageous tale of disguise, deception, and one of the craziest heists ever put to film. The story begins in an American prison, where Calvin Sims is hanging from the pull-up bar, muscles flexed, silently counting.
3! Yo, what comes after 3? 4!
In a prison, life is routine, but today is different. Unexpectedly, the prison guards walk in with life-changing news. Calvin is to be released. Calvin is no ordinary man. Measuring just 1 meter in height, he is often underestimated. Yet today, he is about to show the world just how clever and daring he is.
Percy! I'm sorry, Cal! You stupid!
Outside, he is greeted by his accomplice, Percy, who does not hesitate to enlighten him on why he is a free man today. A big heist worth $100,000. Their target is big, a massive diamond in the hands of unsuspecting civilians. This is a daring plan, and Calvin loves daring. Meanwhile, the world outside Calvin's scheming is progressing at a different tempo. At a trendy restaurant in downtown Los Angeles, Daryl and Vanessa mark a milestone in one of their lives. However, the surprise is not the one Daryl had been hoping for all along.
I got the news, and I'm
Pregnant, yes!
Vanessa is not pregnant, but the news is still a shocker. She got a huge promotion at work. Daryl, who has been wanting a family for the longest time, is devastated. The world is a heavy place, and the dreams he has been holding on to seem forever out of reach. Daryl is not yet aware that his life is about to get intertwined with Calvin's in the most unexpected way possible. The diminutive genius has a plan that will change the ordinary course of Daryl's night into a wild ride filled with trickery and cunning. Calvin's small stature may have caused the world to look at him and think he was nothing to worry about, but his wit and cunning have made him a man to watch out for. As his wild scheme plays out, the lives of ordinary people become intertwined with criminal brilliance, greed, and chaos in ways never thought possible. One man's small stature is about to have huge implications for the people around him, and the pursuit of a diamond will show just how far Calvin Sims will go to prove that brains and boldness always win over size. The heist begins with careful planning. While Calvin is careful in his planning, impulsive Percy suggests that they should raid the bank with his bent-barrel Glock. However, Calvin disagrees. Carefully, or we are going back to prison. The duo's plan is daring. Calvin hides in a big bag while Percy diverts the consultant's attention.
Yes, may I help you?
Percy, CEO and A&R of P Unit Records. I'm here to pick up some jewelry for one of my artists.
Well, holler at you, girl!
Once Calvin is inside the bank, he drills a small hole to retrieve the diamond without any suspicion. However, their plans are interrupted by chaos. A woman notices that her dog is barking furiously at the suspicious-looking bag.
Has anyone seen my dog?
She calls the police immediately. Calvin and Percy attempt to escape, but find that their getaway car is parked in a position that prevents them from escaping. Since they must run away on foot, they hide in a nearby grocery store. Calvin takes an unexpected turn to escape. When Vanessa and Daryl enter the store, he puts the diamond in Vanessa's purse without anyone suspecting anything. Meanwhile, the police, confused by the commotion, end up chasing an innocent customer.
You said African-American.
Yeah, but I said a mocha caramel color. He's like a Starbucks black decaf, maybe a little cream.
After realizing their mistake, they give up the chase. What was initially a simple escape from the law is now a complex mission to retrieve the diamond from an unsuspecting couple who are unaware that they are holding a fortune. The tension is thick, and the stakes are higher. Calvin's cleverness is going to be put to the test like never before.
Yo, Percy, how many times I gotta tell you? No guns!
Every move they take is a gamble, and they are going to need brains, luck, and quick thinking to succeed in this daring heist. In a world where chaos is around every corner, Calvin and Percy are going to need all they can get. Outside Daryl and Vanessa's home, Percy presents a rather unconventional plan. Calvin will pretend to be a baby and infiltrate the home. Calvin is hesitant at first,
Nah.
looking at the absurdity of the situation. However, the persistence of Percy eventually leads Calvin to reluctantly pretend to be a baby and hide inside a dog basket until he is left on the doorstep. However, the plan is instantly foiled when the dog inside the dog basket relieves itself on Calvin. Despite this, Calvin decides to get into character. Daryl picks the dog basket with Calvin inside without knowing the true contents. However, Vanessa suspects something is amiss with the baby. She calls a doctor who is concerned that the baby is not well. However, the situation is made worse with the arrival of the doctor. The doctor is shocked at the tattoos, teeth, and size of the supposed baby. However, the doctor is relieved that the baby is quite healthy despite the deception. Calvin, meanwhile, is quick to take advantage of the situation. Calvin puts the diamond into Vanessa's bag without anyone noticing. From that point on, Calvin is the perfect undercover man, crawling around, cooing away, and playing the part of the innocent baby, turning what could have been a ridiculous subterfuge into a brilliant heist strategy. In the high-stakes game of organized crime, Calvin's diminutive stature and outrageous disguise prove to be invaluable assets. The smallest infiltrator now possesses the biggest secret, and the potential for chaos, comedy, and criminality to combine in ways that none in that house could have dreamed of is vast. Life in the house is providing Calvin with ample opportunities for mischief. He steals Grandpa's cookies and hides them in Grandpa's armpits. He also controls Daryl and Vanessa's lives and outsmarts the adults at every turn. He also takes over the playground and collects fees from other children to play dice with him, making him look like a young crime boss. Percy arrives and demands the diamond from Calvin. However, Calvin outsmarts him again by hiding the diamond in a secret location. He is not satisfied with small-time crime and decides to climb behind the wheel of Daryl's car, causing chaos in the driveway. A vigilant neighbor observing the chaos decides to intervene and turn the wild escape attempt into a real comedy of errors. Despite the police being on their tail, Calvin navigates the situation with his unmatched expertise. He slips in and out of trouble while maintaining his baby disguise and keeping everyone, including Percy, guessing. From cookie capers to car chases, Calvin demonstrates that size does not necessarily matter in creating enormous trouble. Every prank, every plan, and every bold move reinforces his status as a clever, chaotic figure in the house, a pint-sized mastermind who creates an unpredictable, side-splitting whirlwind of crime and comedy out of ordinary life itself. That night, under the cover of darkness, Calvin has decided that he needs the diamond back. So he sneaks into Vanessa's purse while she sleeps and takes the purse, his heart thumping wildly. Grandpa almost catches him red-handed, but his flawless performance of being a baby ensures that he does not get caught, and he goes about his business. The next day, Calvin goes out for a game of hockey with Daryl, and he immediately sets the crowd's heads spinning by drinking another guy's beer, starting a fight, and even standing up for Daryl, all the while playing the part of the tiny baby perfectly. Amidst the pranks, the fights, and the daring stunts, something unexpected is beginning to stir inside Calvin. Underneath the crime, the disguises, and the scheming, Calvin is finding warmth, laughter, and a sense of belonging he never knew possible. The laughter of the family, the trust of Daryl, and the chaos of the normal world around him have touched him in a way the diamond never has. Even a master thief cannot resist the unexpected power of human connection, and for the first time ever, Calvin is beginning to wonder if there is more to life than the next score. The couple decides to give away a birthday party for their baby, blissfully unaware that Calvin is calling the shots. Calvin is busy ruining the party entertainers, turning party games into chaos, and even dominating the American football match with his effortless weaving through much larger players with his tiny frame. Every prank and clever move causes the party guests confusion and amusement, while Calvin is basking in the joy of having the reins. In between the chaos and madness, something unexpected is brewing. Calvin is getting a sense of family he has never experienced. Grandpa, who is initially wary and suspicious of Calvin, is unable to help but warm up to the tiny man's clever tricks and moves. Daryl and Vanessa laugh, cheer, and celebrate with him, unknowingly embracing the very thief who came to steal from them. For the first time, Calvin understands that there is more to life than schemes and stolen diamonds. The clever, pint-sized thief who's always depended on his wits and his cunning to get by is learning the true meaning of love, trust, and belonging. During the chaos, Calvin finds a home and a family to call his own.
Hey, can I help you?
So is this the guy that double-crossed Percy?
Yeah, that's the guy, boss.
Finally, the gangsters arrive, demanding the diamond. Calvin's conscience gets the better of him, and he cannot leave Daryl and Vanessa in a precarious situation. He decides to use his tiny size and an arsenal of toys to fight off the gangsters in a series of outrageous battles. The chaos that ensues sees the criminals pummeled, tossed about, and outsmarted at every turn, much to their bewilderment. Just in the nick of time, the police arrive, capturing the criminals and restoring order to the scene. Calvin proudly delivers the diamond, collecting the $100,000 reward he had risked so much to steal. But more than that, he gets something much more valuable, a sense of accomplishment, redemption, and belonging. The clever little criminal, who had previously relied on nothing but tricks and mischief, finds joy in a new role as a hero, discovering that even the littlest among us can make the biggest impact when heroism and bravery come into play. In the aftermath, Calvin and Daryl have a moment of mutual respect. The heist is over, but more importantly, Calvin has learned that he is part of a makeshift family that loves and accepts him for who he is. From prison to a crazy household to an outrageous diamond heist, Calvin's story is one of growth and change. Calvin may be small in stature, but his wit, courage, and charisma have made him larger than life. Basking in his newfound sense of belonging, we know that this master thief is not only a hero to himself, but to the people around him in his own unconventional way. The movie ends on a high note with a message that mischief, wit, and unexpected joy are good things. Little Man tells us that even the smallest hero among us can achieve the biggest feats when we have brains, courage, and a dash of humor on our side. Calvin's story tells us that size doesn't matter, and that heart triumphs over all. So the next time someone says, size does matter, think about Calvin Sims, who is 1 meter tall, pretending to be a baby, outsmarting everyone around him, and turning a diamond heist into a comedy masterpiece. Little Man is not only a movie about crime, it is a movie about cleverness, audacity, and how life teaches us lessons about family, friendship, and even redemption. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this crazy story about cleverness, chaos, and the triumphs of the small, do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment on your favorite Calvin Sims scene. Stay clever, stay bold, and maybe, never underestimate a baby.